The time has come. Time to make good on a promise I made in a previous devlog. I won't be going over the attack options too deeply now, as I'll be developing the combat mechanics at a later date. After bringing my dragon controller into my new scene, I started by doing something I've been meaning to do for a while. To add some extra visual feedback on the dragon's movements, I wanted the dragon to rotate in the direction it was moving towards. I knew this was easy enough to do, but I always get confused when it comes to rotations, local rotations, and Oilers. This led to some pretty funny outcomes while experimenting. I liked how this turned out. This small improvement makes the dragon look and feel so much better. Now, to handle the attacking. We're going to focus on a light attack for now. Light attacks are performed by the left mouse button or the X button on an Xbox controller. A lot of the logic to do with the animation for the player controller is handled through a script I call an animator hook. I don't think creating a complicated animator hook is necessary for the dragon though, as it will not be using any root motion in its movements. The logic is simple. When my dragon enters the attacking animation, I set my isAttacking variable on my animator controller to true. When the animator exits the attacking animation, I reset the isAttacking variable back to false. In my code, I set my script's isAttacking variable equal to that of the value of the animators at the start of the frame. When my dragon is attacking, I don't want the player to be able to move or rotate the dragon, so I make sure to only allow these actions when isAttacking is false. With that done, it was time to move on to the visual effects. Judging by the animation, the dragon is firing a projectile rather than spewing out a stream of fire breath. I imagine a fireball that on impact explodes and expands into a wide area of effect attack. For how it would look, I imagine something similar to what we see in Panzer Dragoon with the dithering effects. I created a basic dithered texture in Sprite before going into Blender to do some modelling. I went with a simple low poly sphere. With this one mesh, I knew could achieve everything in the effect that I imagined. For the fireball, I created an outer sphere that has transparency. Inside that, the inner sphere is a solid object that glows burning hot. For the explosion, I took the same mesh and applied the dither texture. There's still work to be done here, but this will do for now. Next, I moved on to actually spawning the fireball prefab at the dragon's mouth. This is triggered by an animation event so that the appearance of the projectile aligns with the motion that supposedly produces it. Next, I added some simple logic to the fireball that moved it forward and stopped on impact. Now to polish the effect and create the logic to apply damage. To calculate the direction of the projectile, I cast a ray from the camera's view forward. The first collider the ray collides with is the projectile's target. I then get the direction from the dragon's mouth to that target and set my projectile's rotation to look at that direction. For the explosion on impact, I added an animator to my projectile. When the projectile collides with a collider other than the player, the explosion animation is played. I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. Now to add some enemies that can receive the damage. I created a very simple damage collider script for the explosion effect that damages any controller with the ability to take damage. This worked like a charm. Creating and destroying game objects can be quite expensive and can cause the game to drop frames. As a programmer, optimization is always at the forefront of my mind, so my last task was to create an object pooler. The idea is that, instead of creating a new fireball object every time I need one, I create a set number of them at the start of the game's execution and reuse those. I set my fireball budget to 5. When a fireball hits the ground, it plays the explosion effect, and a short while after that, the object is set to inactive. When the object is inactive, it is now available again to be used. If by chance I have all 5 fireballs active and I try to request a new one, the first fireball shot will become inactive and that one will be reused. Object poolers are used in most games and are an industry standard way of managing resources. If you'd like to learn how to make your own object pool, you can find official Unity documentation on the matter or view some of the many tutorials available on YouTube. That will do it. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on how this project is shaping up. Your feedback is invaluable. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to follow along with the development of this project, then please consider subscribing. Until next time, take care of yourself.